Example 2, solving rational expressions. Alright, now these we can't use proportions and cross multiply because we've got a fraction and another fraction. So we got more than just a fraction equals a fraction. So since we have more than that, then we can't do it that way. What we have to do is get rid of the denominators. To get rid of the denominators, we have to find a common denominator. Okay? And before we do that, again, we got to find our restrictions. Our restrictions are what x cannot be. Well, x cannot be 0 and -1. So those are what x cannot be. Because again, if I set those equal to 0, x equals 0, oh, there you go, that one solved. X plus 1 equals 0 and minus 1, x is equal to -1. So that's what x cannot be. Now the common denominator, remember, 1 as a fraction is 1 over 1. So I made everything a fraction. My common denominator would be x and x plus 1. Okay, so our common denominator would be x times x plus 1. Okay? So if I multiply this by this, so I'm going to distribute this in to everything. Okay? This already has the x, so that cancels out. So I have the 4 times x plus 1 minus 3. This already has the x plus 1, but it needs the x, so that would be 3x. Equals, and this needs everything, so that's going to be x and x plus 1. That gets rid of the denominators. So now all I got to do is solve. I get 4x plus 4 minus 3x equals x squared plus x. Combine these two together, that gives me x plus 4 equals x squared plus x. Subtract my x, subtract my 4, I get x squared equals, x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. Difference of perfect squares, that's x plus 2, x minus 2 equals 0. So therefore x is equal to -2 and +2. Neither one of those meets the restrictions, so they both work. Those are my two answers. Alright, if you test them, go back to the original. If I plug in 2, that would be 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. If I plug in -2, that would give me -2 minus, that would be a -1, so that would be a -3. So I'd be adding a positive, which is then, again, is still 1. So they both work. So if I test them, they both would work. That's example A. Example B. Finding a common denominator again. First of all, x cannot be 0. Because if I plug 0 here, I get 0. My common denominator will be, we have 5x. I already have an x, but I need the 3. So I'm going to put that with that. I already have the 3, so I don't need that. So our common denominator of all these will be 15x. So I already have the x, so I don't need that. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So 3 times 3 minus 15 divided by 3 is 5. X's cancel out, so it would be times 4 equals 15 divided by 3 is 5 times the x and times 1. So I end up with 9 minus 20 equals 5x. So I get -11 equals 5x divided by 5. So I get -11/5 equals x. And since that doesn't meet my restriction, that will be my answer. I can plug it in to try it. It's going to work. Okay. Try example C. Alright, example C. Break this down into x plus 3, x minus 3, because it can be factored. What can x not be? Well, it can't be positive 3, and it can't be negative 3, and that takes care of both of those. So my only restrictions are x can't be 3 and negative 3. My common denominator for this whole thing is x minus 3, x plus 3, and that has both, so it's going to be that right there. So x minus 3 times x plus 3. That's my common denominator. So I'm going to FOIL this in. I already have the x minus 3, so I don't need that. So I have 2 times the x plus 3 minus 4. I already have the x plus 3, so I need the x minus 3. And that's going to equal 8 because it already has both. So if you're thinking about this, this cancels with this cancels with that. We're taking care of both. Okay? So now, we do some distributing here. We get 2x plus 6 minus 4x plus 12 equals 8. Combine like terms, I get negative 2x plus 18 is equal to 8. Subtract 18. Negative 2x is equal to negative 10. Divide by negative 2. X is equal to 5. Okay? And since 5 was not one of my restrictions, there we go. There's our solution. Okay? And that was example C, or example 2, letter C. Alright, example D. Again, like always, we want to factor the bottoms as much as we can. So here I can take out a 2. And it'll leave me with y plus 4. Here, that's going to be y plus 4, y minus 4. Over here, we're going to have, you can take out a 2 again, so that's going to be 2. That's going to give me y minus 4. So we factored them. We know that y cannot be 4. 4, we already have that. This would be negative 4. And then that's negative 4 as well. So we have all of our restrictions. Y can't be 4, negative 4. So from there, we need to find our common denominator. Our common denominator here, we need a 2. We got y plus, should be a y plus 4. We already have that. We need a y minus 4. We already have the 2, and we already have that. So our common denominator is this. So basically, we're going to take this whole thing and times it by this to get rid of the denominators. Alright, the plus 4 matches, so that cancels out. The 2 cancels out, leave me with just the y minus 4. So I'm going to have 10 times y minus 4 minus parentheses 7y plus 8. And then here we have the y plus 4s. We have the y minus 4s. The only thing I need is a 2. So I'm going to basically squeeze in a 2 right there. And that is going to equal negative 8. And then we have the y minus 4s, and we have the 2, so we need the y plus 8, or y plus 4, I'm sorry. Y plus 4. So we plug that there. Now that we did that, we got rid of the denominators. All we got to do is some distributing here. So we get 10y minus 40. Distribute the negative sign inside here. We already get negative 14y minus 16 equals, distribute. That'd be negative 8y minus 32. Now we can combine like terms. This and this gives me negative 4y. This and this gives me negative 56 equals negative 8y minus 32. Add the 4y to both sides. Actually, I don't want to do that. Scratch that thought. Add the 8y to both sides. So I always want to move the smallest to the biggest. And then add 56 to both sides. I do that, I get 4y is equal to 24. Divide by 4. Y is equal to 6. Is that one of my restrictions? Nope. Boom. There's your answer for D.